Hello, my name is Jordan Wiegand, and this is an announcement for the future of our podcasts here at Logjam Media and what that is like going forward, both on the YouTube side and the audio side. So, we are rebranding starting March 1st as Soups and Sabers. We are going to be talking Marvel, DC, Star Wars, fantasy, which means that the four pop culture podcasts that we have here on Logjam Media, To the Infinity Saga and Beyond, an MCU fan podcast, Elseworlds, a DC fan podcast, the Pod Awakens, and the Fantasy Folk, where we talked all things fantasy, are going to be folded into one under one unique branding of Soups and Sabers. How does this affect the podcasts? If you are listening on the former To the Infinity Saga and Beyond feed, you already have both the Marvel and DC podcasts in one feed. That will stay the same. What will change for you is you'll start to see Star Wars and fantasy episodes in the feed as well. What won't change? One of the reasons I have created or co-created so many podcasts is because I love all of these franchises. But I never listened to many podcasts where they talked multiple franchises, so I kept my podcasts separate. The vision is to still have dedicated Marvel, DC, Star Wars, or fantasy episodes. There will be very few, if any, episodes where we would talk each of those or multiple topics in one episode. For an example, we will not have an episode that would discuss Lanterns Episode 1, Avengers Doomsday spoiler review, and Gollum casting news all together. Those would be separate episodes, and they would be clearly marked in the title what we are talking about. I know there are fans out there who may not like fantasy stuff, may only want superheroes, or may only like Marvel and not like DC, or vice versa. These episodes, like I said, will be clearly marked in the title, so you know if it is something you want to listen to. And you can skip the episode if it is not something you are interested in. That is something that has been very, very important to me when we've been talking about this in the last year. Is I don't want people to have to worry about fast forwarding through parts that they don't like or not interested in, or stopping an episode when a certain topic or franchise comes up. I want this to be able to kind of operate the same way that we've been operating, just under one singular banner and brand. And that comes to our next topic of, so why change? The goal here is to have one central podcast feed and one central YouTube channel that we can direct people to and hopefully grow the show. With one branding, it is a lot easier to handle than trying to promote and grow four different podcast brands. We've been guests on other podcasts, all of us have, where at the end they ask, where can people find you? And you're either promoting the thing that you're doing currently, or you're listing off a laundry list of podcasts that maybe people are not going to be able to remember or find easily. So being able to have one place to direct people to will help, I think, tremendously. This move also allows us to dive into similar franchises on the podcasts, like possibly things like Stranger Things or The Boys, without having to create new podcasts to discuss those things. So that is another thing that this will kind of help us do. When does it start? It starts March 1st, 2025, with our Daredevil Born Again coverage. Then we will build towards our super fantastic summer when we finally get to see a new Superman movie and hopefully a good Fantastic Four film. We hope that you continue to follow and support the podcast with these changes. The tone of our show, the frequent co-hosts and guests are all staying the same, but hopefully the show will continue to grow. Thank you for listening to this or watching along on this announcement, and we hope to see you next time when we talk Daredevil Born Again.